everyone. My name's Keely Brown. It's not like you already didn't know that. And I'm here today to present to you the power of positive thinking. Now, before I jump into this, I have a quick story for you. So, in my sophomore year of college at BYU, Idaho, I was required to take this class, and it was called Math for the Real World. And everyone kept telling me about how hard this math class was and how hard you have to study and apply yourself. But me, I really didn't want to step down from a challenge, and I wanted to take it. So as the first test starts to come around and everything, I spend about 1 billion hours in the study center. I work my very hardest. I ask the teachers all sorts of questions, trying to understand the material. And finally, the test day comes. I feel like I'm ready. Of course, there's still that little cloud of doubt hanging over me, but necessarily I was still felt somewhat ready for this test. So I walk in the testing center, I sit down, and then I start taking the test. Some answers were coming to me, some answers were somewhere else, I don't know where. And I get up, I hand in my test, and I take a deep breath, and then I walk outside to where you can see what you necessarily made on the test. I take another breath, I look up and it says, Keely Brown, 56%, see instructor for details. I was crushed. At that moment, I never felt so much like a failure in my whole entire life. I worked so hard for that test, and at that moment, I felt like a failure. So, as I'm walking home crying and sobbing to myself, I call my mom and said, Mom, I failed again. And she said, Keely, you know what, that's okay. Pick yourself back up, readjust your attitude, and the next test, you will do better. Before I finish the story, I'm going to go through the PowerPoint slides to necessarily show you how positive thinking can help you in your lives and how you can necessarily help others with positive thinking. Okay, positivity benefits, how positivity can affect our lives. So, the first one is stress. Now, whenever a situation happens, the usual response to it is stress. We instantly try to think of ways that we can necessarily deal with the situation and how we can necessarily assess the problem. But with positive thinking, it's proven that you can actually combat better ways and handle the stress a lot better when you positively think. The next one is outlook. When you positively think, you have a brighter outlook on life. You are more prepared for what's to come and things like that. As for relationships, with positive thinking with your significant other or your family members or your friends, they're able to look at your positivity and then bring it onto themselves. And when that happens, it's kind of like a wildfire kind of thing where, the little spark of innovation comes, and then as people start to notice your positivity, they apply it to themselves, and then they do it, and the next person does it. It's really great, honestly. So, in this life, we were given a choice. It's more so like a fork in the road. Let's say you have a situation happening and you have to choose how to necessarily act. You can take the left or the right. When facing a problem, you have a choice. You can think negatively and avoid the problem and instantly shut your mind down and just not be ready for the problem. Just instantly just shut down the left side. Or you can think positively and find a solution that would help you necessarily find the answer to your problem. Now, in this current world, we have a lot of negativity that's happening. You can't really go on Facebook anymore and find a super happy post about anything without somebody inserting a negative comment. And when I see that, I'm like, honestly, what the heck? I mean, where's the positivity in the world? I just don't get it. It's kind of a little bit sad to see that in the world. And that's the main point of why I'm talking to you guys today about this topic, is because the world has forgotten necessarily what positivity can do to their lives. They always sit there and they kind of marinate in this negativity, and it's really weird to me. And I'm like, if only they would realize that if they marinate in the positivity, their whole outlooks in life, their whole situations, everything that they do would change. But then again, I ask, why? Why do they sit there? Why do they honestly resort to that state of mind? The one answer that I came up with is because negativity is a comfort zone. the immediate reaction that we have to a situation, psychologically, it proves that we automatically think of negativity. We think of all the negative things and we necessarily don't look at the positive things. And that's what's crippling in the world today. We cannot have this become a stable mindset for us, because the more that we think negatively, the more disconnected we become from our true potential, the more disconnected we can get from those blessings and those goals that we have set and everything like that. My mom recently, she got me this book. It's called Feeling Good, The New Mood Therapy by David D. Burns. This guy's amazing. I mean, anybody who's, in the medical, clinical, psychological field knows who this dude is, because he wrote this book and it's been clinically proven to treat for depression and all the mood things and how to become positive, basically. One quote that I love from it is, "The moment you have a certain thought and believe it, you will immediately experience an emotional response." That moment is so crucial. When you are facing a problem, you immediately have a choice. You can do, like I said before, the right or the left in the situation. But how can we apply positive thinking to our lives? The 3 ways that you can apply positivity to your life is, 1, surround yourself with positivity. An example would be playing positive music or, hanging out cute little, Pinterest quotes all over your room or something like that. I mean, that's what I do when I'm at home. I usually play uplifting music, or I always try to, give off a somewhat positive energy so people can feed off of that. And when you feed off, and when you play that positive, or when you surround yourself with positivity, then people will be more so drawn in. And I don't know if you guys notice this, but when you're negative, people just diverge from you. But when you're positive, everybody's included. Everybody wants some of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Number 2, you can express gratitude. We are given the gift of life. So one thing that we can do to show and be thankful for the positive things in our life is just take 5 minutes a day and express gratitude for all of the things that we have here in this world. Number 3, we can stop overthinking. When we overthink a situation, we necessarily begin to doubt ourselves, and all these clouds start to, appear in our minds and everything like that. But as soon as we eliminate that overthinking, we can start letting in all these positive thoughts. And then our route to our destination or our goal, necessarily, will become a lot clearer. Now let's get back to that story that I told you about. So my mom told me that I had I could get the next test that let me start that over. My mom told me that when I failed the first test, I should get back up, readjust my thinking, and necessarily keep trying. And the next few tests, I would get better and better. Well, turns out the next 2 tests I took, I failed, tragically. But I also noticed something. The more positive that I was, the higher my grade went. Even though I failed, I was still positive, and I still was getting higher. And I promise you that when you apply these methods of applying positivity to your life, you'll be able to face any situation in life that any situation life throws at you. Thank you, guys.